for a minute, okay? If we're out far, we want to use a penetrating step. Advance into him. Does that make sense? We've talked about the penetrating step. Raise your hand if you've seen the penetrating step and that makes sense to you. Okay. I have two approaches, and I hope you will, if you like it, I hope you will stick it in your toolbox. The first approach, if I'm going to make single leg and his left leg is forward, my left leg will also be forward. If he switches to the other side, I switch to the other side. And the reason why is as I make my approach, this foot goes down, and I want to be in this angle here so that I can grab and push hard and pull. I want to lock the knee. Now, for the naysayers in the world who think they know everything and they don't, let me just say that I don't care who you are. You be Godzilla. If I push hard enough on the knee, watch his butt. The butt goes back. I've broken his balance. It's undeniable. Okay? Good. Switch back. There's nothing wrong with making your single leg in this way and lifting, if that's what you choose to do. My way has two effects. Number one, if I cut through him, I'm going to injure the knee. I want to injure the knee. This is a self-defense program. I don't want to injure my friend, in this case my son, but I want to make sure that I can make this thing happen, okay? If I come here and I grab and just hold, or I hold to my chest, all he has to do is kick that foot out, bend this knee deep, and he's going to squash me to the ground, and then ultimately, I will be in a bad position. Does that make sense? Now watch. This is the key thing that people don't understand because they've been taught away and they don't know anything different. Once I get in here, right, and again, I'm still working this penetrating step, right? And I get in and I push, and his butt goes back, and his foot is stuck to the floor, and I'm hugging this. There's no sprawling. Watch. He cannot sprawl when I'm pushing him down. Does that make sense? Once the knee locks and you do this, you have no choice but to go down. Okay? Now, people are going to say, well, that's not how I was taught to do it. Of course, there's more than one way to do things. Right? I hit him, and I drop all the way to the ground, and I drive into him this way. You can do that. You got to leg. In wrestling, there's not a lot of leg locks. It's a bunch of pinning, which is super cool. So when I go and I hit this guy, I stick all the way to the ground until I get to here. I don't want to be caught in the guard, so I'm basically going to palm this aside, and I got choices. I can underhook here, and I can make a calf crush. Okay? I can be here. I can start to make my move around here. Switch, I have knee bar. Does that make sense? Do you see why I want to capture the leg? Let's talk about double leg. Double leg, I'm not going to be left leg if he's left leg. I'm going to be right leg. And here's why. Instead of using this penetrating step to get in between his legs, I want to be here so that I can grab and scoop. I found the best way to do that is a pivot. I go to make my penetrating step this way. Left knee, right knee close. Left leg swings. Grab. Now what? The ear presses. In the old days, we called this an ear press takedown. This gable grip, I pull like I'm going to elbow somebody behind me, and I snatch his legs out from under him. All right, so I'm here. Ear is pressing. I'm pulling. I'm collapsing. Once I collapse his base, I lift, dump, right into the ground. No space. I can move to a pinning position or a choke, or I've got the legs. I can do other things now. Okay? I can leg lace. I can toe hold. Okay? I can make choice of which of these I want to knee bar. Do you see why it's so important to hold the legs and sit? Single leg side, double leg side. Now, you can do it differently. This just works well for me. All right? I move in, left, right, left. Take him down and I stick and drive. Does that make sense? I see people doing this incorrectly. If you do it this way and it works, who am I really to question? But if it doesn't work, change. Left knee down. Right knee down. Entangle, bump. This is the way I'm doing it. Some of you are doing it this way. Now when I go to sweep him, his feet are going to get hung up in my leg, right? It's hard for me to make the sweep. See? See how this leg's in the way? Head's on this side, legs on that side. Now watch. I pull. See how my leg pushes me here? I pull, and then I lift. Drop. Control. Can we do that? Sure. Yes, sir. Go! I'm going to show you 2 reaps today. We call one leg assisted single leg because we're going to use our leg to kind of work what our arms were doing on the single leg. So Caleb and I are here. Remember last time I drove in, right knee down, left knee carries me into him. I lock this into place and I push it to the ground and I drive with this foot and he goes down. Boom! I step up and I control, right? I find that to be reasonable. I find this to be easier. The problem is I got to get past his hands a little bit. So I might bump his head, right? I might kick to the leg a little bit, what I need to do to kind of distract him. When I go to make my move, it's the same move. Right leg, left leg. Instead of grabbing the leg, I'm going to grab his waist and the back of his thigh. Here. And I'm going to step through. Now, if I push down on his body and he can't lift that heel, and I continue to push, he should fall without any assistance. That's not the technique. Right? Right, left knee, hook, reap that leg and lift it. You see how I've got control? Everybody see that? Leg assisted single leg. Right? I can do it this way. Right? You guys see how fast and how I drive hard? Think about the points. What point of contact do I have? Right knee's down, left knee's down. Where's the left hand? Hip. Right, waist, hip. Where's my left ear? On the hip. Right, where's right leg? Right hand? Thigh. And then the right leg entangles the what? Ankle or the heel. I lift, I push, I drive. Some people will call this a minor outer reap. Some people will call it leg assisted single leg. Can we do that? Sure. I'll show you the next one after we rep a few. Go! All right. I noticed something Jeremy, Spencer, and Michael were kind of working. Y'all tell me if this is, look at it. Don't say, oh, that's not the way you taught it, Rinchi. Look at it and say, does this make sense? Okay? This is the way I did it. Yeah? Will that work?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at it from a standing position. Can I do this as a reap?
Yep. Yes.
Can I do this as a reap?
Yes.
Both will work, inside or outside. Now I like the outside. Spencer also noted there's a chance you could land on the person's knee and get racked a little bit for the inside one, but, it's life. All right. So I come down this way, I hit, I stick, and what can I do once I hit the ground? If he falls, I lift. Now, because I'm controlling this, it's going to be hard for him to entangle me. I can drive this across his face, hop over, and now I'm not in half guard. Does that make sense? Who thinks that makes sense? That, you know what, I don't want to get caught half guard, I should do that. All right, how about this? I come down, I hit, watch, then I lock this knee. You see how his knee's now off the ground? And then I arch my back, and I knee bar him here. It's a small knee bar. I'm going to tell you right now, many people will not tap to that. But if you shock somebody, they might be like, oh crap, and then they might tap because they hadn't felt it before. If I have him in this small knee bar, right, he can throw this leg over my back, but he still can't get me in half guard, and I can use this, right, to then move to here as an intermediate position. And then up to here, and then to here, and so forth. Pretty cool. So I come in, instead of going here, I go here on this angle. Okay? Or you can do it like double leg. Come down and go to here. Does that make sense? Once I get here, I'm going to entangle with the right leg. I'm going to push, hook, drive this way. It's a minor outer reap. Okay? Pretty cool. I can go straight in this way for this leg. I can take the angle. Now here, watch. If I take this angle, this is essentially now facing me square. So I can pick either leg. Does that make sense? All right, let's walk. Get on the crack. Let's walk through it. Watch. I'm on the line. Right, left. See how I faced him? I went straight into his stance. He's got one leg definitively forward, one definitively back. Don't move. Watch. See how I took the angle? Does that make sense? Could I legitimately go here? Could I legitimately do that? So if you like the double leg approach, that's fine. The angle is more advanced. It's cooler. Right? Down, hit, drop. Pretty cool. All right, who wants to see the advance to the next position move? Because you don't want to get caught in the guard. Come in, take the angle. I'm shooting that way. Boom, boom. I got to hit him with some force, and watch. I hit him. I move right side control. Pretty cool. Hit. Oh, I missed. I went right into his shin or his toe.
My toe.
Sorry. Hit. Sorry about that. I totally felt his feet right into my knee. Is there any way to edit that out? Here's the downside to the last move. You could get caught in the guard, right? So he sets up, and I'm thinking, let me walk again through this in the backwards position, right? If I set everything up right, I should be about here. Does that make sense? Hugging this, I got his calf in the back of his knee, I got his hip, right? And I've got this leg. That's where I want to be. Watch, look where my left leg is, and look where this leg is. Let's rewind. Rewind, this comes back, knee goes down. Knee comes up. Look where my toe is. I stand. So when I go to do this move, I toe, knee, grab, hook, and drive. Does that make sense? If I rewind it again, this is the last thing I did. Knee goes down, penetrating step in reverse, knee comes up, and so forth, okay? All right, so let's kind of walk through this. What can I do, right? I work, I drive in, I hit his hips, drive him to the ground, he grabs me in the guard, he grabs me in the guillotine, and now I'm in big trouble. Let's turn it a little bit so everybody in the world can see that I made a huge mistake, and now I'm trying to lose, right? Does that make sense? It's a small thing we got. If you know that, well, let's plan for that. So again, I'm going to make this angle, right? I hit here. Once he drops down, I move up. Now watch, he goes to make guillotine, right? And I just drive. And what do I have? Head and arm choke. Did everybody see? Let's do it in reverse. Head and arm choke. He's going for guillotine. Right? I pull him up. He rewinds back in. This is where we were. Pretty cool. One more time. If you blow this and you get stuck in the full guard, he's going to guillotine you. 1, 2, 3. This is kind of 3.5, or almost 3 1/4, 3, not quite 4, because it's all kind of moving together. I hit. Now watch. I hit, and I pass that leg. Does that make sense? Now I'm driving with both of my feet. Hopefully before he can get his wits about him, and I start pushing this arm up, and I entangle his head. I make head and arm choke. He's got half guard on me, but I've got the advantage. Does that make sense? Who likes that submission? Who likes that takedown? Okay, if you don't like the takedown, put it in your toolbox. Get good at it so you can teach somebody else who will probably like it a little bit better. Okay? All right. I've got 3 or 4 other ones I can show you, but we must fight!